Alright, let's keep working on this. So, we have a number on the back side of that first page of the Measure Quiz number 4 review. This one's already graphed and ready to go for you. You just have to figure out these different properties. So my function goes left and right forever, so my domain is going to be all real numbers. My range, well, that's all the possible values that my y's can be, and they can be any possible real number, because it goes up and down forever. The next part is my x-intercept, which is going to be right there, which is the 0.40. And the next one, you're going to get 0, 1. My y-intercept is just right there. This function is positive before you reach 4, so from negative infinity until you reach 4. It is negative thereafter, so from 4 to infinity, it's going to be negative. My function is increasing nowhere, it's just going down everywhere, so from negative infinity to infinity is where it's going down. And then for my end behavior, as my x approaches negative infinity, my function is going to keep going up and up and up without stop. No border on it, so it's going to go positive infinity. And then as my x approaches positive infinity, as I keep going right, my function keeps going down and down and down without stopping, so it's going to approach negative infinity. And then this last part, J, what's my asymptote? Well, it doesn't have one, just like number 4. There's no line gets infinitely close to, but doesn't touch or cross. And that brings us to 6, which does have an asymptote right here up at 8, where my y value is 8. So I'm going to have the equation of that line, which is y equals negative 8. And that actually goes in combination with the range. When my function goes down forever, it doesn't go up forever. It reaches a max, or approaches a max of 8. So it goes from negative infinity until you reach 8. My domain, on the other hand, is going to be all real numbers, because it can go left forever, right forever, and you'll have some y values going with it. Next part is my x-intercept, which is going to be right there, which is 2, 0. And my y-intercept is going to be right there, 0, 6. E is going to be, where is my function positive? Well, it's up above my x-axis over here to the left of 2, so from negative infinity until you reach 2, it is positive, and it is negative thereafter, so from 2 to infinity, as you go right, it'll be negative. This function is not increasing anywhere. As you go from left to right, it's always going down, and so it's going to be decreasing everywhere from negative infinity to infinity. And the next part is my end behavior as x approaches negative infinity. What's your function do? Well, it keeps getting up and up and up and up and closer to 8, but never actually reaching it. But if you could go to negative infinity, it would reach 8. And then for my right end behavior, as x approaches positive infinity, my function keeps going down and down and down without stopping, with no limit there, so it keeps going down to negative infinity. And on to 7. This one's a little bit different. It's got different sections in it, but don't worry about it. Let's just talk left and right real quick. How far left, how far right does it go? Well, it goes everywhere. So my domains can be all real numbers. How far down and how far up does it go? Well, it goes down forever and up forever, so my range is going to be all real numbers. For my x-intercept, I actually have 3 different ones, so I can write them all down. We have negative 7, 0, 4, 0, and the last one is going to be 8, 0. So it has 3 x-intercepts. Only has one y-intercept right there, as 0, 3. The next one is asking where is it positive. Well, that means it's above my x-axis. We have this section here, and then this section to the right. So we're just going to write those intervals for those different sections. This one starts at negative 7, ends at 4, so my interval is going to be from negative 7 to 4. And then my next section starts at 8, goes on forever to the right, so 8 to infinity. If you have multiple intervals, part of your answer, put the u in between them. The next one's asking where it's negative. Well, that's this section and this section. The left one starts at negative infinity, and it goes until it reaches negative 7. And the next one is just from 4 to 8. So 4 to 8. The next one is asking where is it increasing. Well, we have this section and this section. So this left one starts at negative infinity. It goes until it reaches this x value of negative 4. And then the next part, that's a u, it's going to start right here when x is 5 and going forward to the right, increasing, until 5 to infinity. Next part is where is it decreasing? Well, it's decreasing for this section here, which goes from negative 4 to 5. Next part, end behavior. As I go left forever, as my x approaches negative infinity, my function keeps going down and down and down with nothing stopping it. So it's going to approach negative infinity. And then as my function goes right, as my x's go to positive infinity, my function keeps going up and up and up and up and up without stop. And there's nothing blocking its way, so it goes up to positive infinity. And then for my asymptote, there is no asymptote. There's no line that my function gets infinitely close to and doesn't reach or cross. And that brings us to 8, the last on the back side there. Again, domain, how far left and right it goes? Well, it goes left forever and right forever, so it's going to have all real numbers. My range, on the other hand, my function goes down forever, but it doesn't go up forever. It goes all the way up until it reaches 7 and stops. And it actually reaches 7. So it's going to be from negative infinity until 7, square bracket, because right there it is 7. It actually reaches it. For C, what's my x-intercepts? Well, I got 2 of them. One at negative 4, 0. And then another one at 5, 0. And I have one y-intercept right there at 0, 7. Next part's asking where is it positive, meaning above my x-axis. Well, it starts there and ends there. So between my x-intercepts from negative 4 to 5, it is negative. And on the left side, that's where it's positive. On the left side and right side of those intercepts, though, that's where my function is negative. So from negative infinity until negative 4. And then my next one starts at 5 and goes all the way to the right, to positive infinity. G is asking where it's increasing. Well, that's this entire section there. So that's from negative infinity until it reaches that x value of 0 here. And it's decreasing after that from 0 to infinity. And my end behavior always starts the same. As x approaches negative infinity, what's the function do? Well, it keeps going down and down and down without stopping, so it goes down to negative infinity. And my infinities are having problems. And then for my right behavior, as x approaches positive infinity, my function keeps going down and down and down without stop, so it approaches negative infinity. And this one actually does not have an asymptote either. It doesn't get infinitely close to a line and not cross it. So you notice on the first entire page, the only ones that have asymptotes are the exponentials. And we have a little bit more time left that we can put on this video, so jumping over to the next page, average rate of change for the given intervals. We have an interval from negative 2 to 2. So you go where x is negative 2 and 2, and you're going to have these points. What's the average rate of change between the points? Well, if you were to draw a line, it has no rise and a run of 4. So the rise is 0, run of 4. You're going to get an average rate of change of 0. And on 10, from negative 3, so go where x is negative 3, and to where x is 1. So these are our 2 points we're going to be looking for. And you can go down however many, and then over however many. Well, you go down 8, so it's going to be negative 8, because you have to go down. And then to the right, 4. So you're looking at a rise of negative 8, a run of 4, which reduces to be negative 2. And then one more, you need to go from 0 to 3. So you go where your x is 0 and where your x is 3, and put those points down right there. Right there. We have the point 3, 0 and the point 0, 6. Well, that's where I'm starting at. My difference in my y's is going to be 6 minus 0. And my difference in x's is going to be 0 minus 3. So 6 minus the 0, 0 minus the 3. And when you do that, you're going to get 6 over negative 3, which is going to simplify to be negative 2, which is the same as the previous one. And let's get 12 done. So from 0, where x is 0, to where x is 3, Well, we're going to have this point and this point. This is the point 38, and this is the point 0, 1. To get my rise, I can do 8 minus 1, and then 3 minus 0. So 8 minus 1, 3 minus 0, we're going to get 7/3, and that one's good to go.